Hello, dear friends. Today is Tuesday, and we are in middle of a very important week in the United States. It's the time of transition of power. Tomorrow, we are leading up to the week, the Shabbat, which is the yard site, the 10th of Shvat, the day 71 years ago in the previous Rebbe who came across the shores, across the ocean to the shores of America and transformed Jewish life in America from when he arrived in 1941. And the Rebbe who assumed leadership in 1951, a year after the previous Rebbe passed away, and brought Jewish life to new levels unseen anywhere. It's probably the biggest part of our history. In 100 countries, there is active Judaism that's growing every single day. And this month in the Torah has significance, the month of Shvat, because we're told that Rosh Chodesh, the first day of this month, which is exactly 37 days before Moses passed away in the desert, he began a very important part of his journey and his leadership of the Jewish people, where he gave his final talk. This talk is the book of Deuteronomy, the fifth book of the Torah. And the Torah tells us that on Rosh Chodesh, the first day of the month, Moses began to teach the Torah be'er heitev, very clearly and beautifully. And our sages tell us, what does it mean that he started to teach the Torah beautifully? Didn't he teach it through the 40 years that he was leading the Jews in the desert? He taught them the Torah, the laws, the messages. And it explains be'er heitev means that he translated it into all languages. Moshe, at this point in his life, as the Jews are getting ready to enter Israel, and though for a big part of our next millennium, the Jews spent their time in Israel all together, Moshe was preparing the Jewish people for the entirety of our history, that the Torah should be able to be learned in all languages, not only in Hebrew, but in Aramaic, in English, and French, and Spanish, and Russian, and Italian, etc., 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 even in Arabic, that in every language Torah should be learned. Why was this so important in the last part of Moshe's life? And the answer is that knowledge, which Judaism is full of knowledge. The most important thing we must know as Jews is Hashem imparted to us the knowledge of everything that goes on in this world. The ability to know what things are, how to do, and as well to understand for most things how they work, even to understand about God as much as a human can understand. All of this knowledge has been put into the Torah. And it was not meant to be under lock and key for a very select few who had the access. Everyone just has to follow what they say. But this knowledge was made available to every one of us. Knowledge is power. Whenever we find ourselves in situations where we must muster courage, strength, to be brave, to be able to handle a situation, one of the most important things is to have knowledge, to understand that there is something to understand that there is something deeper going on, to understand what's written between the lines, and with knowledge to understand how to make our way through it, how to overcome. It's all in the Torah. All the secrets of the world are in the Torah. It's the blueprint of the world, the Torah. Everything is available to all of us. And Moses wanted to make sure that every Jew understood that it will always be accessible to them. And today it really is accessible. Today you can find every part of the Torah translated into English, to many other languages. Today it's all on the internet. There are websites, Chabad.org, Sefaria, and others, that have many of the texts and translated by professional, knowledgeable people. It's all there for all of us. All it takes is for us to make that move and that step to dive into that knowledge, to start spending the time reading, understanding, knowing, discussing, making it part of our life. So when we go through a pandemic and the ups and downs of what we are going through, tap into the knowledge that exists about ourselves, about the world, about the purpose of the world, about how Hashem operates in the world, how to see things a little bit deeper, because this is the greatest gift you can give yourself. And the greatest gift we always knew to give our children was education, which most of education is knowledge, or the ability to know how to find that knowledge and what we need to access. So make knowledge your friend. I hear too often, I feel comfortable with what I know. Don't confuse me with any more knowledge. I don't need to know anymore. That's so un-Jewish. That is so not the way we ever approach things. We're thirsty for knowledge. How does it work? Why are things happening? How do things interplay with each other? It's all there. All of Judaism is out there for every one of us to access, even before you learn a new language. So grab it, make use of it, search for it, be curious, never end that constant curiosity to know more, to learn more, to ask. And then you'll find how much easier it is to make through even the most difficult situations. So God bless you and have a great, great day.